I'm just getting myself wound up. Hi guys, this is Nikki here. I'm here to do my spoiler review for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. As with all my Harry Potter reviews, this is my mother's copy of the book. I love the covers and I don't own a copy, so here we are. This is my second time filming this because the first time I found out that I didn't have my audio going because screw me. And that's what I get for filming after a nap. This is the third book in the Harry Potter series. It's a pretty good book. Overall, it's a pretty good sequel, although I do feel like it suffers a little bit from middle book syndrome. But the book itself is Harry's year at school, which is his most normal to date, with the exception of Sirius Black and the Dementors, which are pretty minor things, all things considered. No Voldy deaths this year, guys. And with that, let's just get into it. We'll go into my 3 likes first here. My first like is Hermione's story arc. I really enjoyed the way it developed her character. It showed her drive, it showed her intelligence, it showed her tenacity that borderlines on crazy stubbornness. And even though I think the reason she gets the time turner, and I quote, her potential, is hilariously stupid because time is not something that you should be messing with, but they let her do it for school. Outside of that, then the reason for her having it, I like how the time turner develops her character. Which brings me into my second like, which is Harry's connection to the magical world growing stronger in this book. And I love that the way they do it through the Marauders map and then the history he gets with it from Lupin and kind of, oh, I know your parents and their history together. And I love that little bit you get that connects him more strongly to this world, because I think he is quite disconnected from the magical world because of how he was raised, and because this was such a big part of his parents' life. I love that he does get that deeper connection to it through the map. It does Harry some good, I think. And then my third like is Remus Lupin. He is a kind and generous soul, and I love reading about him, and I wish he had more time, and he was what Harry needed. And with that, I'll move into my dislikes. My first one is a bit of a hot take. I don't like Sirius Black at all. And I understand that a lot of the somewhat craziness that you get with his character is entirely because he has this unresolved grief with James because he immediately went to Azkaban, which is the most depressing and horrifying place on the face of the earth. And it's like a reverse mental health hospital. You go in and become crazy. So I get that the trauma of that mixed with the unresolved grief for James and Lily is why Sirius is like this. That being said, as much as I sympathize with his character, I don't like him. So here's my second dislike. I dislike how the teachers took a big backseat with Draco bullying Harry. I know they always kind of bully each other back and forth, and I know they always complain about how Draco gets away with it. But this year was especially bad because the Dementors are not things to fuck with. And fuck you, Draco. But Hogwarts is kind of like a hard-knock school, so like I'm not surprised the teachers didn't get involved, especially when this was like in the early 90s when stopping bullying wasn't a big deal. But come on, guys. You gotta be better. Don't drop the ball. Now on to the third dislike. And this is Crookshanks. And just kind of all of Crookshanks. I just hit my light. When he's like colluding with Black, it's like, I don't know. Does he know Black? Like he says that, like Black says that Crookshanks knows that Black was a human in dog form. And I don't understand why Crookshanks gets to know this because the Dementors don't know that Sirius is a human in dog form when he leaves as a dog. The werewolf, Remus Lupin, who you would think arguably would recognize the smell of his best friend, one of his best friends, would recognize that he's a human instead of a dog, or a human in dog form, when he's a werewolf. Why is Crookshanks so special? Why does Crookshanks get to know this shit? Why does Crookshanks just know that Sirius Black was a good dog and then a good person? Where does he get this information from? I don't understand. I'm gonna stop and talk about characters now because I'm just getting myself wound up. So, characters. There's really not too much to talk about. We could talk about Sirius, but I already talked about how I don't like him. We could talk about Draco. We already talked about how I hate how he got away with his bullying this year. We could talk about Hermione. Oh no, I did already. She had an amazing growth. She had an amazing growth plot this story because she had the time turner, and it forced her character to develop both more into the stereotype, but also more into her own. Which kind of leaves Ron and Harry. They did a little bit of development, but not a lot. Ron was too busy being a cat hater, which I sort of get. I'm allergic. And then Harry was just a little bit stagnant. This was a lot more of like a information gathering book rather than a personal growth book for him. That's really all I gotta say. I mean, I wish I had more time with Remus Lupin, but I already talked about that for long enough that I don't think you need to hear it again. With that, I'll move to my wrap-up. This book is a 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it more than the average book. That being said, it's still not one of my favorite Harry Potter books. I like it a lot more than The Chamber of Secrets, but it still suffers enough from middle book syndrome that I don't enjoy it, like perfectly enjoy it every time. Although you do get a good introduction to a lot of characters, and Harry and Hermione get a decent amount of growth, just the things I liked really deeply impacted how much I enjoyed the book overall. Like, there were more, I did like more things than the 3 I listed, but I felt those 3 that were the most important to talk about. But the dislikes just weighed very heavily on me in this one, even though I really only had those 3. Overall, pretty good book. I mean, if you made it through the first 2, you're going to enjoy the third one. Hermione was great, Lupin was great, Harry was great, Sirius Black was annoying, Ron was a bit of a prat, but, you know, we'll move on, and we'll see what happens in the 4th book. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.